Let me tell you one story about something I learned. Let me tell you one story about something I learned. Yeah.
Gonna hit you hard with the fast and the fury. Make your mouth drop like Jordan and Julie. Stepping on the court, dog, on dangerous. Get in the score like Bobby De Niro. Don't approach us like no Gondoliero. Leave you looking like Eddie Norton. Straw in your word like Marvel Martian. Wanna know why? The God sent we. Call your belly full and your mind empty. All sound alike on BET. How many naked girls do you see? Like Miss Awalad, me can't believe me eyes. Won't stop rocking till the boat capsize. In the holy water, washing off your disguise. Always go back to your dirty pig style. Damn, big, you left them hypnotized.
Soldiers dance in the middle of the night, smoking trees and chilling with wife. Fridge got food and the kids shirt tight. I got a big dog and he walks at night. Soldiers dance in the middle of the night, smoking trees and chilling with wife. Fridge got food and the kids shirt tight. I got a big dog and he walks at night.
You're listening to the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rex45.
My name is TJ. We in this. From Two Wheels and Coffee.
What's going on, man? Things, man.
Everything's good. Been off the bike for about 3 weeks since I last had my festivities in May.
Yep.
You know, but everything is good. Can't complain. Can't wait. Everything's back in order. You know, MotoGP's back this week.
Yeah, man.
Starting very soon.
Yeah, man.
You know, the Loudon Classic is coming up, and I'll be participating, not in the Classic, but I'll be there for the Classic.
Right.
And then, you know, the weather's getting better. But I can't complain, you know, besides, you know, a couple of local friends not passing away. So rest in peace to them. But other than that, I can't complain. Good health. So
I listen, man, you know, it's crazy for folks that, you know, when someone passes away, and then this happens every day. And for riders, it's a, you know, there's a bond that happens when you're on a motorcycle with people. And, you know, we cherish those that ride, and not to say we don't cherish those that do not, but you know, there's a special bond because we know the risk that comes with this. And, you know, I can't speak for every rider, but you know, I don't know if I can put into words what it's like to ride a motorcycle. You just got to do it. So you know, I didn't know him, but nonetheless, it's never a good thing. So you know, but it is riding, and we ride for them and those that have been on bikes, and you know how that go. The Nicky Hayden's. It'll come to me. I gotta look it up. There's a Moto 2 or a Moto 3 rider that passes away. Salam. You know, it's you know, it's riding, and it's part of life. It's part of life.
yeah, you know, just riding, have fun, being safe out there. So other than that, you know, like I said, feeling good, waking up, going to work, and just looking forward to that time to get on the track again.
Right.
So
you know, we'll jump right into it because you talked about MotoGP is back.
Mm-hmm.
So not to take anything away from Motor America or World Superbike, because that I've gotten my fill and I'm loving what's going on in Motor America and World Superbike. But there's something special about MotoGP at Mugello.
Yeah, Mugello is a fun track. I've never been. I know you've been before, but you know, they always hype it up, and for always playing the video game, you know, they try to make it as realistic as possible.
Right.
It's probably the funnest track to play in the game, and it's just a fast track, and you know, a lot of ups and downhills, and I don't know, it's just a great time, and just watching on TV, just the amount of people that are there. It just must be out of control.
Yeah, it is out of control.
I mean, like,
it's been a while,
like,
and I think
I know people were just getting hammered, just passing out in the grass. Like you said, you fell asleep on time, you know, and just wake up like, where am I? Oh, I'm at the track. Just do it all over again.
Yeah.
It's just a whole weekend of festivities.
I think with history of Mugello and just the track layout itself, but the atmosphere. You know, I've only been to 3 different MotoGP races, and you know, Mugello was the second one I went to, and you know, the atmosphere. It's, you know, you see it on TV or on online, and you know. You've been to Celtics game. You can feel the atmosphere in the Celtics game.
You can kind of say it's like Madison Square Garden. You know, everybody wants to play there.
Exactly.
Know, as a player, you know, certain arenas where, like, you know, the Dallas Cowboys arena.
Right.
You know, like just certain places that carry a high intensity. You know, you can see it.
Yeah, you can see
high
it.
intensity and just a large crowd volume in and outside the arena.
Right, and you can feel it. And you know, it's maybe it's like, you know, if you're on stage rocking out to like 20,000 people, and you feel that energy from the artist that's on stage, but the crowd may not necessarily feel that. When you're in the crowd, you feel that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the crazy part about it. Like, you know, it like the start finish, like you feel all of that, and it's pretty dope.
Yeah, like you said, you was mentioning the Celtics. Like, I know our fans are diehard fans. So if you go to a Celtics, Bruins, or even a Red Sox game, like when the crowd roars, I mean, you feel it. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, so exactly. I mean, we have that luxury.
I know. I watched, like, you know, other sporting events. Like, I'm a pig on basketball, but like certain teams where the arena is not full, or even when it is full, I'm like, you know, I can't even hear you on TV.
Right.
You know, like Celtics arena, you could just
you can hear it, you can feel it, and so that's what Mugello is like. So if anyone is thinking about going to watch a MotoGP race, go to Mugello. You know, I mean, you know, I'm hoping to get to some other tracks, because definitely, you know, I think it's just it's difficult. Not necessarily difficult when you have 100,000 people in this space, right? The energy has to be ridiculous.
I mean, we're only here for one thing, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's really, so I think a lot of other places, when the crowd is at that 100,000 plus, it's a whole different world than when it's at like 60,000 or 50,000 or something like that. You know what I mean? So Spain and you know, the UK and France, Australia, and these places got to be ridiculous.
I mean,
Japan.
I can imagine. I mean, like, we have these type of environments like the Celtics game, but then we got timeouts, halftime shows, you know, other performers. You know, this is like strictly everyone's here to watch, you know, Moto 2, Moto 3, MotoGP.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. So, you know, with that said, you know, you got, you know, Pecco, and you got Bezecchi in what is it, 1 and 2, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I think all the riders pretty much back now.
Yeah,
healthy.
But
so.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be good.
Any predictions?
I mean, you know, I always got to go with my Jack Miller. I mean, I feel like he's going to be at least top 5 if he doesn't go ham in the front, like burn his tires out and fade in the back. But, you know, like, we had 3 weeks off, so it's hard to forget, you know, like how hard, you know, the KTM riders have been riding. So I do have faith in KTM.
Yeah.
You know, I was always a fan, but, you know, I was always like a Suzuki and Yamaha fan. But
Gotcha.
KTM has been growing on me, you know, so I'm a fan of Jack Miller for one. And Brad Binder's been solid all around. So I think KTM is going to be up there. I mean, we all know Pecco is going to be in the fight, because that Ducati power, you know, they can't wait to hit this straight away.
Right. Yeah, no, listen, I race 2 KTMs, right? So I'm a KTM fan. But honestly, you know, just looking at, you know, Motor America, World Superbike, and in the last couple of weeks, it's been Ducati. You know what I'm saying? And with Heron, with Bulaga, you know, with Batista, right? And so, and then you see what's in MotoGP.
I do gotta say, the Ducati, the riders who are representing Ducati right now, some class riders.
Yeah, and I think it's how can I put it? It's like when you hear Magic and Bird talk about when Michael Jordan came through and said, "Hey, I'm here." Not to say Ducati wasn't here, but they went away, right? And but to see what they're doing in Motor America, World Superbike, MotoGP, Super Sport with Bulaga, and not talk about like different countries that are racing.
They're winning.
I think the Japanese brands have a problem.
Yes, I mean, I don't know the deep details, but I think it's a big problem.
Yeah,
we don't want any other teams pulling out because of this.
Yeah, I think they're gonna replace Yamaha. You know what I mean? Like as far as the R1 and the R6, I think when you see what's going on in World Superbike and in Super Sport here, I think that 5 years from now there's gonna be a lot of ducks on.
We were talking about that in a couple other episodes. Like sooner or later, like there's gonna be 14 Ducatis on the grid. Like, and I don't know.
It's
not a good look for the future right now with that, but
right. So to go back to MotoGP and KTM, honestly, I'm glad you reminded me because I was just like drinking the Ducati Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, every episode Ducati.
I was just like, there's like they're taking over, which is great because I'm a fan of the bike. I have two of them, and so
yeah, you want another team to put up a fight, especially against Pecco riding the Ducati,
right? Because
that puts a little pressure on you, and pressure you can make mistakes. Yeah. Like if you just give someone 100-point lead, they're like, they can risk less.
No, yeah, because Ducati's been setting the bar for a while, and like I said, it's going to be very hard for the manufacturers to catch up. Honda, Yamaha, it was Suzuki. Kawasaki. Like you see how Jonathan Ray's struggling. Come on, I know
struggling bad.
He's
like he's finishing 5th, 6th. Like
you know what I mean?
There's a lot of good riders in there now, and
because honestly,
can be on top all the time, but
for sure. But I think if
he can't even get to that 1, 2, or 3. He's consistently in the back. Not in the back, but consistently in like after 4th.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's getting challenged where he wouldn't. It's like Top Rock came through and just bam. You know what I'm saying? And it was. I think it was a shock to his system, but also it's Kawasaki too, right? But you see what Batista's doing now on the Ducati. And if he wins it, and if Bulaga wins it, Yamaha, Honda, and Kawasaki and Suzuki, they got a problem because it's. I wouldn't be surprised to see Aprilia in World Superbike again. You know what I mean? Because like they're doing well in MotoGP, and I think it's going to be like KTM, Aprilia, and Ducati, and KTM and Aprilia. Yeah. They're the only two that's challenging in the Ducks right now.
Maybe KTM bring 2 more bikes out.
There's talk of Husqvarna coming with Marquez and Pedro.
That would be dope.
I think it's Pedro. I could be wrong on the Pedro part, but definitely. And I mean, obviously Marquez is denying it. But yeah, from what I get, there's going to be another team, a KTM, because KTM is following what Ducati's doing, and Aprilia should do the same thing. It's just the I don't know. Ducati's figured out a way to take the bikes to a different level where motorcycles haven't been before, and it's crazy to see.
What I want to learn, I'm gonna teach myself. I'm gonna look it up and everything. But if you guys can help me, but what do they give MotoGP teams, like contingency points or something like that throughout the year, so they can like develop more parts or something like that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know it. I know what you're talking about. Well, it's usually newer teams.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, they need to reconstruct whatever for teams who are struggling to get more access to things. To make
Well,
it
I think that's not even the case anymore. I think if you look, like, Honda is mimicking, all the manufacturers are mimicking what Ducati's doing. The wings, they laughed at them at first. Now they all got them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The way they cool the rear tire now with the ducts, and they all got them now.
They had the rear or ride height device.
Yeah, exactly. the front and the rear height device.
Now everyone got it.
Now everyone got it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. They're leading it, and other manufacturers are making their versions of it to catch up. And when you do that, you're like making Frankenstein.
But you know what the funny thing is? When they were creating this, they were also losing.
Oh, for sure. Listen,
And they, now that they got it figured out, it just kind of looks really scary because every manufacturer or every Ducati and every field of racing is winning. Like
You're
you
right.
said, Moto America, MotoGP, World Superbike, and now everyone's like, yeah, I don't know. They figured it out. I don't know if we could keep up this time because Fabio bringing the bike out. Everyone's got the bike shaking, just trying to keep up.
they're hurting themselves trying to keep up. They're hurting themselves. And that's the crazy part. So so the thing is, when you're the one that's innovating, you know what you're doing. When you're trying to copy what's out there, you don't know the mistakes they made, and that's a problem. So and you see that with Honda, right? And you're seeing that with Yamaha because they they're not innovating; they're copying. You know what I'm saying? And they, so, I think KTM is close and Aprilia is close and they've figured it out. And I don't know if it's just listening to the riders because it does seem like those teams are listening to their riders a lot more and the bikes are going very fast.
Yeah. So like, who else will be a KTM rider? Like you said, it must be Pedro, right?
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know. I can't see anyone just jumping on a KTM and riding like Brad Bennett and I mean Miller's just on it, but
Yeah, no,
from what he's been riding like,
listen, I don't see anyone that can jump on a KTM and ride it like Miller.
Yeah, so
Because Miller is I mean, think what are we in round 6?
something like that.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yes.
So it's not like he had the bike last year.
Yeah,
Right? Just
Jump right
keep,
on it.
Like keep that in mind. And Miller has brought the bike in 5-6 rounds to a top 5 bike, and they couldn't have just do it with just the engineers. And I give KTM, and I've said this already, I give KTM a lot of props because like they listened to him, and Ducati didn't listen to Lorenzo when Lorenzo was doing the same thing. And once they listened to him, they saw him win. And, it took them a year and change to do that. And by then it was too salty. You know what I'm saying? And you see what they do now. They listen to their riders.
Now you can see the riders talking there after every session.
Yeah.
Like, getting the feedback.
Because at the end of the day, you want the bike to be competitive. And you want the bike to be competitive. And then it's all about the rider. Right, it's all about the rider because now my bike does everything I want it to do, and it's up to me and this dude over here. When I have an inferior machine and I know I got that skill, it's harder for a rider.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching one of my friends on YouTube, and he does like a voiceover, and he's saying like he was doing a track day or a race, and the bike just felt awkward going into every corner. And all he did is change like the gearing ratio like 1 tooth, and his seconds were exactly the same, but everything felt easier.
Right.
It was just, I mean, obviously he didn't talk to anyone or probably had someone to help him fix that, but just getting the riders comfortable.
Exactly. So yeah, so it is a problem when you don't have your machine running the right way, and you see it. So it's I'm not saying Honda's just wrong. Honda's had a reign. Yamaha's had a reign. So they're not. It's not like they're the KTM.
Well, it's not like Suzuki when they could have just try to figure it out. They were just bailed out.
Yeah,
They even took like a fine.
Yeah.
It was like they just like, I don't care. I pay the fine. I'm out.
No, that I don't know if honestly if they're really hurting for money that bad. That's tough because I think it hurts the brand.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no sympathy for the sport itself. Like,
You know?
I mean, you are a manufacturer that sells motorcycles. Like,
Yeah.
why not be in a racing league?
You know,
like, it should be mandatory.
Yeah, right.
Like,
No.
every manufacturer should be in. You know, they should, like Dormer or however you say, they should allow that, like some way, somehow. That's what I was talking about, like the contingency points or whatever they get. They should allow some manufacturers some way to get points in different ways to keep it even in a certain way, but upon more of the riders.
I think they do that to manage the money, right? Because you don't want it to be about the most money win, but Ducati got a lot of money because of the people that own them. So I think they have the luxury of access to the technology, but Honda has it. Like, come on, Honda got the most money, so at the end of the day, I think it's just innovation. At the end of the day, and that's it is possible that Marc Marquez might not be there next year.
Yeah, they don't want that. He's been the face of Honda for
listen
so long. If he's on another team, they probably still sell Honda Marc Marquez gear like crazy.
Put it like this: Marquez will get a pass like Rossi got. Listen, Rossi's been on Honda, Ducati, and Yamaha, right? And so I think Marquez would get a pass. Going to another manufacturer and then coming back to Honda or something like that.
Is it too late in his career though
to go to somewhere else?
I mean, no, but like to have that type of
no, because I think like Rossi, I think was 31 or something like that. And had a bunch of injuries and stuff. So if he wants to, but he wants to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so at the end of the
exactly.
day, as a rider,
it's up to Honda.
yeah, at the end of the day, he wants to win. And
like he's been out so long, and he came back the last race, right?
Yeah,
or something like that. And he was awesome.
Yeah,
like he didn't lose a step.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing. He wants to win, and he's been loyal. So it's not, he's jacked his body up in the process of being loyal, right? So I think if he left after this year, he'll get a pass, and so I think the brand will be okay for Honda and him. But ultimately, yeah, Honda would want to keep him forever because they would like to do what Rossi's doing with Yamaha, right? You know what I mean? Rossi and Yamaha is always going to pay Rossi because it's like Michael Jordan and Nike. You're not gonna sever that. And you don't want to sever that from a market and a business, from a business point. So it's in Honda's best interest to make Marc Marquez what Rossi did for Yamaha. Not to say they need it in the same way that Yamaha did, but nonetheless, Marquez, like he's synonymous with Honda right now. You don't want to tarnish that.
I mean, screw that too. I mean, not only that, they need to work on Mir. They need to get him.
Well, listen,
they need to get him a finish.
I think that, if
they need more points. Like Marquez is not riding some races, and Honda's not finishing.
Yeah, I think Honda screwed up because they had to give Mir the factory seat because he got the world title. It just makes sense. But if he didn't have that world title, Rins would have got that factory seat.
Yeah, I mean,
because Rins to me is a better rider. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's proven that with Suzuki. He didn't get the title, but he's a better rider.
Yeah, I think it took me a while for to have that sink in, but overall, I think he is a better rider. And he's doing really well in the Honda. He's the only one that's like helping Honda.
He's the closest thing to Marquez.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he just didn't get, he just whatever reason crashed a lot.
Yeah, I guess there's a phase. I don't know. That's just
and it was a weird year for when I don't want to do like an asterisk thing with I don't know. I'm always going back to the NBA, maybe because it's the championship, and I don't want to put any asterisk next to anything. But he won in the pandemic year, so and it wasn't the same amount of races, and
Yeah, everyone says that.
and
it was like 12 races that year out of 20 or something like that.
And honestly, like he won one race.
Yeah, and
he just finished in the points. And so from a titles perspective, look, he played the long game, and he got what he got, and it is what it is. But he didn't do like Marquez, the dominance, the Rossi, the dominance, Pecco. Right, last year, being so far down and winning so many races.
He didn't give you the Mike Tyson hits.
Yeah,
he gave you just the 12 rounds.
Yeah, he just
just stayed up.
No disrespect to Floyd, but he didn't. He wasn't. He just he played the long game.
He played the long game like Floyd. He wasn't like Mike Tyson out there.
One
hitter quitters, finishing first every race, or getting knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't do that. Not when these it's. I've only started watching MotoGP really like 2015 and stuff. But like the level of which these riders are riding today, and it's a different it's
totally different level.
It's different level. You know what I mean? And you either have it or you don't. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. And like I give credit to Jack Miller, who's because like you see Pecco, like Fabio, like like we were just talking about Mir. These guys just came up and got what I'm saying, they got titles.
Yep.
And Miller had to and other riders,
like Alacia,
and
Pole,
and all those guys. You know what I'm saying? These new riders is I don't know if it's all the computer aid that's making it possible. All the technology that's the older riders can't adapt the same way.
Remember we were talking about like some riders fade out because of the riding style, but you was like Rossi was able to adapt, which he was, but it kind of caught up to him, I think.
Well, I think
also it was his age too, But
I mean, these dudes are 20. Come on,
superhero, man. What are you talking about? Rossi's gonna go to 50.
You know what I mean. So I don't know if it's that as well. That's making these riders can just be more whatever. But these new guys, they're on a different level. At young ages, they're LeBrons.
I mean, just. I've never ridden a bike on a track that had electronics, so like I still don't know what that feels like to have full traction control on, or taking 2 levels of traction control off, or all those riding aids. And as you see, every year there's a new like riding aid or something. So like these riders are crazy with their talents now compared to back then. So I don't know, that could also play a part. But they're in the sport. The top sport, so
right,
or the top seats. So I'm sure they got all the riding aids way before we do.
Oh, listen, this is the stuff that trickle down to us.
Yeah. So, but it's just amazing, like how they can just handle the bike with all these aids, and as you said, like Pole and Jack Miller, they're keeping up. Like you said, they didn't get their podiums like Mir and Pecco and all. So.
It's different. So that's the difference. I mean, and I like to see the older riders, but it's hard to say, hey, these young guys are they're really dope.
Yeah. It's more of just being a risk taker, because they're younger. I don't know.
No. But a lot of them don't ride that bad, right?
Lacia's like, all right, I'm done at 35. Like he's already thinking about it,
right? But he's 17, 18 years.
Is he gonna push like he did 10 years ago, knowing that he said he's gonna retire in 2 years?
I think so. I don't think that goes away. That competitive edge, even when he rides, like competitive, like when you're competitive.
Yeah, when you're out there, I mean, it's a different story.
Yeah, you just want to go, but he recognizes that tree, right? It's like. He's at that point, and he got kids, and I don't think it's a money thing for him. I don't know his personal finances, but I think that he's at a point where it's kind of like, I think if he had this bike 7 years ago, 8 years ago, he would have had world titles. Like he would have had world titles. He for whatever reason, he just didn't get the good bikes. I don't know. I can't say he was a bad rider watching him, but he wasn't on. He didn't get the factory seat early.
I still room for Elish. I want to see him, at least top 5 this year. There's still a lot of races left, and they had a lot of time off. I mean, Aprilia needs to figure it out. We need to see it be way more competitive. I mean, Ducati has been winning everything, but
I think if Oliveira didn't get crashed up, I think it would be different. I think for whatever reason this year, Elish is definitely struggling more than last year. It seems like Maverick is doing better. So
he had a little issues last round, was it, when he lost his chain?
Yeah, which is not his fault. So and he was in top 5, I think, if memory serves correctly. So I feel like Aprilia has the bike underneath them. But yeah, I'm rooting for Elish, and I hope that he can fight in the top 5 for the whole season, because he has the bike underneath him. He has the right bike underneath him, I should say, and so I hope that happens for him.
Yeah, I mean, I just love how positive he is too. Like, he got his kids' paw prints all over his suit and helmet.
Yeah, he's
do it for the kids.
yeah. No, it's pretty cool to see.
I mean, I know that's what he wants too. Just for the kids. So, for him at his age, I want to see him win a couple more. Actually, I want to see him, like, has he been on the podium this year? I don't think he has. Yeah, like, I want to see him at least get number 1, or at least be on the podium.
Yeah.
At least 2 or 3 times for what we have left this year.
It's still early, man.
It's still early.
and this is the longest MotoGP season.
Yeah.
So it's a long season, and you got the sprint races. So there's extra points to be had. So no, I'm looking forward to Mugello this weekend. And speaking of, we got the 100 running of the classic, Loudon Classic. In about 9 days, 10 days.
Actually, Laconia Bike Week.
This week, correct?
So it goes on for the whole week,
which also is the 100th.
100th,
Yep. So they started partying and racing the same time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You go all over New Hampshire. They do, like, bike rides up to White Mountains, rallies on Weirs Beach. A lot of vendors, just bikes everywhere. A lot of cool roads. And then, like you said, we got the Loudon Classic. You can test ride certain manufacturers, just pull up and sign up, and and then you got the Classic. So
yeah. Parking.
I mean, I ain't got a trailer. I just got a truck squeezed by it in. I got a little mid-size squeezed by it somewhere. But yeah, I don't know all the details about parking, but it sounds like it's going to be mayhem. They're telling you, I guess, you got to be there certain days because of what's going on. But I think everyone's like, I don't care, I'm showing up.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's the way it is, because
like, I might as well just pay the extra fees.
Right. I'm a little just dropping things. It's different, and at other tracks, it's first come, first serve. So it's that's how it is. But here, where you can rent the garage for the whole season, it's a little different at Loudon than some of these other tracks on the East Coast. I can't speak for the middle of the country and West, but so it's a little different now to say, hey, we can't do what we normally do.
Well, yeah, like there's people been racing here for years. They're parking the same spot every single time, and I don't think the Classic last year was like this.
It was not, but it was not the same amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good point, but I mean, I think it's all for the safety too, and to make it more organized. But I don't know how it feels to be like, if you're used to parking in the paddock and right across, like that being pushed away. That's kind of discrepancy.
Yeah, it is. So so we'll see. I suspect get there early.
Well, that's what I was mentioning, like, because I was bred into the paddock, like I tell my friends. So I usually pit out in the field and they're like, hey, where's your bike? I'm like, it's in the paddock. So I like just go back and forth, back and forth.
Right. So that's no big deal for you.
Well, yeah, it's, no big deal. You're right. But now, like, for me being in the field, now everyone, where are those extras that can't tent outside the paddock where they, like you put your camper outside the paddock sometimes, like where spaces are going to be available, and also the newcomers that are coming in.
There's definitely going to be less space available.
And then saying that, hey, you can come on Thursday only.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, I think this is Wednesday, Thursday. But yeah, it is going to be a little bit different.
So so that means Wednesday, Thursday, that's when they're pulling up.
Really, listen, first come, first serve.
So
I'm not telling you when to get there.
So like,
but I know when I'm getting there.
Why? I know the penguin and stuff is going on too. So
correct. Yeah, they expect a lot of people, so they're trying to plan ahead. It is a little, like I said, it's different because
it sounds like chaos to me. I would just pull up and see what happens.
Well, listen, but don't
But try to get there at a reasonable time, though.
But people know if you've been racing for a little bit, you get there earliest, you get the best spots.
Yeah.
The later you get, the worst spots you get. There's no secret.
And you gotta start asking people, hey, can I squeeze in or see what plugs are available?
Yeah. Yep. It's gonna be interesting.
Oh.
So, so I'm camping in the infield. So, because my trail is not. I usually park in front of my garage. Well, at the end of we get there's parking spots that's allotted to the garage that I pit in, and I usually park at the end of that. But that's not going to happen because they don't want any big. Well, there's no parking in that section, and they don't want any big trailers left in the parking spots that are available.
Do you know how many so? You and like Carrie and all them, this like going towards the track. There's like 4 or 5 lined up that always park
not 4
in
or
the same
5
spot.
You think from the time you turn in?
Yeah.
No, there's at least 10 people 10 to 12, maybe even more that pit against the fence.
Yep.
So there's now those folks are going to go in the infield.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And there's also people that pit in the parking spots themselves too. Not pit, camp out.
Yeah.
In the parking spots themselves, whether in a tent or in their trailer. So all these people now are in the infield.
And this is on both sides, because I know on the other side, Joe usually parks right in the parking lot in tents, and same with Sean and a couple other guys I know.
After the show, I'm gonna go drop my trailer off. That's all I know. That's all I know. But no, it is. It's going to be thick, and
I mean they are trying to get the information out. I mean it's hard.
Well, yeah, I know. I appreciate the fact that
get the clear information on what is actually going on. But
right.
There's a couple of videos, and they're trying to get the information out there. But I just know for the type of weekend, I mean it's
going to be hectic.
Yeah,
and
now that the people are getting pushed out, and now they don't know where to.
I shouldn't say it's going to be hectic. I think the people that get there after all the spots are gone, it's going to be tough for y'all. So the people that get there early enough and they get their spots and they're set up, and they ain't got no problems.
Yeah, so that's why I don't want to be pitting like somewhere I've never pitted before. Don't even know where to plug in. Like,
well, yeah, and I think it's going to be different because. It's going to be different, but yeah, there's going to be fewer spots available. So again, it's but it's normal. It's just like this at other racetracks. So
it could be fine.
I think the only people that are going to feel it is the locals. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else knows that you bring your generator and you may get a 30 amp or 110 or you got your generator. So I think other people know that. Like there's like, and I've said this on other shows like Loudon and Daytona. It'll spoil. Those are the best tracks as far as amenities. Jersey as well. I don't want to knock Jersey. And then I'm talking about East Coast, and I'm talking about the tracks that I race with CCS and Azra, and Neymar. Don't want anybody get at me. But like Loudon, we have it's a really nice layout. Amenities are really nice, and other tracks are not like this. So it is great, but yeah, other places you might get like 25 30 amps or something like that, and after that you're on your own. Well,
I mean, I know we also been spoiled. So like if we do park in the field, we'll park our trucks or whatever in just any type of fashion, just place it down and just plug in. But they actually do. It's kind of faded on the pavement, but they have the space markers for each plug-in, you know.
Right.
So they, you know, it's just gonna be tight, and everyone's probably gonna have to use that little minimum space.
I don't know about minimal because people have different size trailers, right? I think it's a respect thing, right? I've never had an issue, and I've parked in other people's spots that have reserved spots, and you know they didn't come bang on my door at 6 a.m. or anything like that. I actually walked out to put gas in, and they was like, "Hey, you're in the wrong spot," and we talked it out and figured it out, and they were cool with me not moving until in the morning and stuff like that. So you know, I don't think it's going to be ridiculous in that sense. I think as a community, you know, we get it, and I think that you know people get their spots, and you know, people if somebody's saving a spot, that's what they're doing, and it is what it is, and everybody understands that. So maybe the locals might be back, hey, you're my spot, but people that come to a track that it's not their home track, they just wherever's open, that's what they take.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, this is a good family up here, so we'll figure it out. There ain't gonna be no dog fights, I'm sure.
You know, like I said, I mean, for the most part, like I haven't had a problem, you know, at tracks with people. It's always been love. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's going to be any different. It's just, you know, certain tracks get a lot of people, and you know, if you're not used to seeing that, then maybe you might feel away. But you know, if you are, then it's no problem.
Yeah, they're just preparing for the worst. Don't want anything to go backwards and wrong. So I guess open space for people to walk around. I guess, you know,
no doubt
better.
So that's the classic. I can't wait for Saturday. I mean, I'm excited for the day I race too. But it's you know, it'd be interesting to see. I don't even know where I'm gonna watch it from yet. But
I'm trying to go to turn 1. On the bleacher side.
Okay.
Sid probably way up
you
high.
know what? It probably makes sense to be on the bleacher side and just watch the whole track from the bleacher side, then miss out on the action because
probably won't see the bowl, but that's about it.
You might. You got if you go high up to the nosebleed section, you know, some binoculars. You know what I'm saying? You might.
You know, I might get some binoculars too. You know? I gotta get a pair of those.
You know what I'm saying? You might be able to see. It'll be the back.
Turn 12.
It'll be the back side. Like I think 9 and 10, you might not see.
Right.
You know what I mean? And maybe even over 10, 11 back there.
That way you might need binoculars.
Well, because of the depending on where you are, but because of the buildings over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we may be able to get most of the track. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the whole thing. You know, it's this is the largest money you can get in motorcycle racing in the U.S. Yeah. And you know we haven't had national guys like this come up this way in a very long time.
I'm just looking forward to seeing like how these guys preparing for their races. You know, like I've seen, like you said, one of my favorites is Shane Bone. You know, I've watched him win the Classic past couple of years, and the times that he's preparing for it, you just see him going in and on and off the track. On and off the track. I'm like, what's he doing?
Yeah. There's no.
You know, he's just fixing stuff. You know?
Yeah, they'll tell you. You know, when you're on there, you're there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You're not there just to be just doing laps. Yeah. You're there like you're figuring something out. You're back in. You're not out there just joyriding. You know what I'm saying? And, you know. So you know that is what it is, and you see it at that level, which is pretty cool to see. So I'm really looking forward to it. I really can't tell you who's going to win. I can't wait to see Eric Wood's Ducati.
I want to see it. I haven't seen him race in a big race too, so I'm looking forward to seeing him be out there.
Yeah,
you know, my favorite Scott Greenwood, and you know Shane Arbone, and just to watch Eli in this too. I can't wait. And then I just can't wait. It's so many riders that I like watching. You know, it's gonna be a good time.
Definitely gonna be a good time.
And it's looking like the weather's gonna be nice, cool, 70-ish. Hopefully, sticks that way.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be in the 70s.
Rain in the forecast earlier in the week, but I think it just is panning out. So.
Yeah. So no,
some people are looking forward to rain, but hopefully a nice dry one.
I listen. I don't think the top riders are going to care either way.
Well, no, it's just more of a
But it'd be more. Yeah, it rained when I was in Aspen, and it wasn't as enjoyable for sure. And definitely, unless no rain. I think Wednesday's the last day at the moment. So we'll see. So before we wrap up, I wanted to just talk about the highs and lows of the season so far, and anything that how's the season been overall and all the riding in the last couple of months.
I mean, definitely. I can't say any lows. Hopefully, you don't get any lows. Besides, lap times.
Right.
But it's for his first 2 rounds. I mean, everything's been where, not where I expected, but where I left off from last year.
Gotcha.
As far as like my times and body position and stuff like that, and like you said, one of the lows I have is just like, as far as body position, is like my feet. I just always try to, I don't know what it is, like I always pick it up, and then there just be one corner that is just a little too low. It doesn't like drag or anything like that, but when I look at like my pictures or videos, I'm just like, keep telling my fellas to pick my feet up.
I don't think you should worry about that. If your feet's not touching the ground, I wouldn't worry.
Well, I mean, a couple of times it has, and
in the bowl.
Once in the bowl, once on turn one. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think everything is going good. I don't want any lows. So.
Well, I mean, not to say, it's.
I mean, you
it's
do
racing.
have your moments,
right? Yeah. So it's
you
it's stuff
can't
you got to
figure things out,
right? It doesn't have to be on the track specifically, but just getting to the track or cooking or whatever, right? It's it.
Yeah, since we brought it up, like I said, I just got a truck. I don't have a trailer yet, so one of the lows is it was a high at first when I got a truck. And I finally could put my bike and transport it to and from. But now it's starting to come a low because I'm like, I gotta put the bike on the truck again. I'm like, all right, someone help me with this time, because I don't have enough energy. And I gotta strap it down, play Tetris in the car with all my stuff, and then when I get home, so like the last 2 rounds, I left everything in the car. I'm not even kidding. I woke up in the morning, I was like, all right, take out what I need. I'm not driving the truck today.
Yep.
And it's getting more and more like that. Like the first time when I got home, immediately took everything out, brought it downstairs, put everything away. So yeah, that's a low right now, but I'm grateful.
Listen, that
I can still make it to and from, so.
That's definitely a low. Like I come here, if I got to play Tetris to get my trailer in, I park it on the main street, truck and trailer, and just leave everything and walk in the house. So I feel you there versus coming, getting everything unpacked and put away, and like, no, the traveling part of it is probably the biggest low in general.
Yeah.
Because regardless of, if you have a bigger rig, there's complications that would come with that, and if you have a small one, there's complications that come with that. And you got to plan accordingly, and that is it would be it'll be nice to just show up and have everything you need, and you just got to jump on the bike and go.
Well, speaking of my boy Nick, when we went to New York safety track, it was just a long day overall, and then towards when we was trying to figure out where to park the camper. He just got frustrated. So everyone around him was like, "You okay, man?" He was like, "Just been all day, all day, just being irritated."
Oh, listen,
and then
just
everything he had to do to set up the trailer, I had to park it, plug it in, and put the. Oh, it was just. I was like, "Yeah, I understand," because he was the only one doing it because it was his stuff. I didn't know where to jump in. But like, hey, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, it's and sometimes you don't want to.
Yeah,
but
exactly. But people were getting in his way, and that's when it was just like, all right.
But you do have to. It's good to ask for help, because it's like when you pull up and set up, you're like by the time you're done setting up, you're sweating.
Yep.
and you're uncomfortable, and probably be tired depending on how far you have to ride or drive, I should say. So that is that's not.
And then, not to mention when the day was done, we left that same day. So
You gotta pack it.
And he's like unwinding and doing all this, and stuff didn't fit, and like, yeah. So
No,
I feel it.
Yeah, and it took me a while. Like I finally have a system.
Yeah, I see you when you're at the track. Like Sunday when you got one race at like 12, all the stuff's already in the truck. You just got the bike left.
Yeah,
like, you time it out. So
Yeah.
as soon as that race is done, just energies out.
I just ride in and because it just helps, because like at the end it's a lot of effort, and I don't like, it's nice to have everything out because you can just relax, but at the same time you kind of know you got to pack up, and the more stuff you have, the more you have to pack up. But it's good to have a system, and my point is, like, it took me a while to get a system. Like, well, okay, this stuff like fits right here, and I put these in things first, and this and get it all, so it's easy to transport and all that stuff. And yeah, transporting to and from tracks is probably the low of the whole thing. And that's the thing that takes. No, I wouldn't say as much energy as racing, but it takes a lot of energy.
Oh yeah. That's why we said just get there the day before.
Get there.
Do all this the same day you want to go get on the track.
Yeah, if you can. Get there, just set up, and then you just wake up the next morning, do your ritual, and go on the track. If it's like I've tried. I was at a summit a few weeks ago, and shout out to Mike, that he works at I think Ducati, New York. And he showed up at like early morning, day of, right? And after he set up, he was done. Between the driving and stuff, and it is what it is, right? Because this is. I mean, he's been racing. Like this might have been like his fourth race. Race weekend, I should say, right? So not even so he's new to riding, and the same thing. I did the same thing. We do. Like you think you can just show up the day of or the morning of and you're good, and it's like no. You're tired. Mm-hmm. And so it took me a while to learn, like, okay, yeah, I can stay up all night driving and get there in the morning, but then what am I like when I get there in the morning?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
So I had to check myself and plan accordingly. So that's the big low. I mean,
I don't think I've done that yet. Every time I've been to the track, it's always been the night before.
Well,
I've woken up and had to drive 20-30 minutes because I had a hotel,
right?
When we had a bunch of us, but nothing like coming from Boston, driving an hour and a half like Jesse,
honestly, that's nothing.
That's a small drive.
That's if I had to drive an hour and a half every time.
You do it all the time.
Yeah.
So
But no, we're talking about you got to drive 7 or more hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, if I had to drive just to Jersey every time, no problem. I can drive from here to Jersey in one shot all day long. But we're talking about even Summit. Like I can do Summit straight. But anything beyond Summit from Boston, it's like, okay, I got to camp out somewhere and rest and then wake up and do what I got to do, or that type of thing. Because at the end of the day, it's, again, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. You gotta do what you gotta do. If that's all you can do to get there, it is what it is. But if you can get there and just rest, it's better off.
Yeah, I think 3 hours is 3.5, 4 hours is like the most. If you're gonna drive up and still race the same day.
Yeah, no, I see some people
6-7 hours, like that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that is tough. I mean, Leroy, you say he comes from what?
Jersey.
Jersey?
Yeah.
But, yeah, he camps out usually.
He comes down early. Yeah. So, if you have to look, like I said, I mean, it's different for everyone. And if you're younger, it's no problem. You know what I mean? I've stayed up for 3 days straight when I was younger.
Sometimes you have to because you're scheduled.
I wasn't on anything. You know what I'm saying? But, when you're older, you're definitely camping out a lot more. When you're younger, you can drive all night and still have energy to go race. You know what I mean? So, but for us, well, I can't speak for you.
I mean, I got one gray. I cut it off.
But it doesn't make. I don't have to be comfortable, so I'm just not, anymore. And I've tried it, and it's not fun because then you're not comfortable on the bike, and if you're not comfortable on the bike, then you may not have the same experience that you wanted to, and sometimes you just fatigue because of travel.
Yeah, I'm also the type of person that just like to be in the atmosphere, so we don't get these race opportunities like every day.
Right.
So like, if I did go up and I felt that way, I would hang out just for a little bit, just to be around the atmosphere. Yeah. But you got to know when to not go on the track if you're not feeling right, and be well rested. So.
Right, exactly. I mean, I think it's you should know that. I mean, it's better always to be safe. So, but yeah, no, I mean, if you can get there early enough, get there. If it is, but yourself, your body. So,
yeah, can't wait for this classic. You got 1 week from today, right?
Yeah, This is Thursday. Listen.
I'll be up there 1 week from today.
I'm gonna probably be there. I'll be there a Wednesday, I believe, because I'm probably gonna do race of practice both days. Because I unlike you, this is my first round at Loudon. So I haven't been there. This is for the season, so I want to get up to speed fairly quickly because I'm hoping to have some fun this weekend and be competitive.
What I do know is I'm sure since I'm Group 1 anyway, everyone's gonna be up Group 1 practice early Friday. Sometimes I look out the window, I'm like, nah, not feeling it. I do second practice in the morning.
Yeah, definitely.
This will be a weekend. Everyone's gonna be.
I think if you don't do race or practice, then you got to do both sessions. It is what it is. I mean, some people know themselves and they don't have to. Some, you know what I mean. But if you're gonna get the times you're gonna get, you know what I mean. So, but I don't know what I'll do on Friday. I know what I'm gonna do on Wednesday and Thursday at the moment, but on Friday, Friday will depend on what I do on Wednesday, Thursday, for practice. But I'll probably do at least one, if not both, on Friday.
Yeah, I should do race practice, but unfortunately, I can't get out of work until Thursday. So I got Thursday off.
Thursday race practice doesn't start until 1. It's 1 to 7. So
I gotta call my boy Nick. And
I think it's 2 to 6 on Wednesday, so it's afternoon. So so I'm probably gonna get there I'm gonna be there early. So I'll be there definitely by Wednesday morning. And do both sessions for both days. And it might rain, but that's fine.
I guess the people who are doing racer practice has the best shot.
Well, that's
spots. If they stay through the whole weekend.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it is. I mean, I think that like I said, everybody you get there early enough, and that's it. Sure, some people are going to leave. The track day people are going to leave. Well, who knows? They may stay because they're going to stay for the classic. You never know.
Yeah, that's why I heard that they can't do that if they're not participating.
Oh, okay. So they got to move their stuff and get out, but they can buy tickets.
I was told that we couldn't get there till Thursday to have everyone leave from
got you. So yeah.
That's how I took it when they said it. Yeah. But I'm not sure, and I'm sure still people are just gonna show up anyway out of
I think so
not being sure. So
but no, I'm looking forward to it because I'm a fan of Loudon. I do like that track a lot, and so I'm looking forward to the next weekend.
Yeah, so hopefully no one hoards no spots.
Something like that will happen. My name is X45.
My name is TJ.
Peace.
Peace out.